Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday. Today we will be covering my favorite one light setup of all time, the bare bulb. I will show you two different ways to use this. Tutorial Tuesdays is where I take a simple lighting setup and I break it all the way down as quickly as possible so that you can take it and add it right into your bag. My name is Brent. I have Emily in the studio with me today. Again, we'll be using one light, strictly bare bulb. Let's get right into the content. So when doing bare bulb, we like to keep the setup super simple. As you can see, I have my light boomed in, and the reason that I have my light boomed in is because I want to have it directly in front of Emily. And what I have her do is watch the center of that light and make sure that it's lined up directly with her T-spot. So I'm lining it up with like the bridge of her nose, and I have it boomed so that way I can still shoot. I don't want to have a C-stand sitting right in front of me and I have to kind of reach around it, so it would make it very impossible for me to get wide shots. I'm going to be shooting at f5.6. I'm going to have my ISO at 100 and my shutter speed is going to be 1/250th. As you can see, we're using an orange backdrop today. We decided to do a little bit of color. Let's do a few test shots here. First, I'm going to start with mediums, and I am shooting with my Tamron 90mm. 3, 2, nice, 3, 2, one more here, 2. And what you'll notice, we like to keep the light angled down, similar to the sun, because as I said before, we are trying to mimic the sun. And you're gonna notice as I take these wider shots, just how sharp and defined the shadow is behind Emily. So I'm gonna do some wider shots now, just so you all can see what effect this light is having. 3, 2, nice, 3, 2, good, 3, 2. Perfect. And the shadow is going to be going right behind Emily because I have the light directly in front of her, so that shadow is going to fall directly behind. Some ways that you can control your shadow is the angle of the light. So if I were to raise this light a little bit higher and have it coming down even more, then that would push the shadow closer to Emily, similar to the sun. When the sun is setting, your shadow goes out wider. When the sun is up high, like a 12 noon, your shadow is going to be right there, down right in front of you. So we have that same exact concept here with this light. Now I want to show you what it looks like when we do close-ups. Look straight at me. 3, 2, nice, 3, 2, nice, 3. And one thing that I love about the close-ups when you do something like a bare bulb is the amount of highlight that you get, especially when doing it straight on. When you do something like a large umbrella or a large softbox and you put it right in front of your model, it's a super flat lighting. But even with the modifier and the light being right in front of my model, I'm still able to get very dynamic shots even with the close-up. But now let's take the light off to an angle, maybe something like a Rembrandt, and see what that does to our shadows. If you are someone who is looking to improve their studio lighting skills, look no further. Click the link in my bio as the studio lighting bundle is now live. 24 different lighting setups going through constants and strobes, and we will also break down light ratios and how to meter light. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Let's get back to the content. So now, as you can see, all that I've done, the only change that I've made is I took that light from being right in front of Emily, I took it down off the boom. It's still on the boom arm, but it's not boomed out anymore. And now I have it in sort of a Rembrandt position, because if you don't have a boom and you're not able to get the light boomed over and have it straight in front of your model's face, or you don't feel safe doing so, you can still use this in a Rembrandt position. So here we go. Let's get a few test shots. I'm gonna again start with the mediums. 3, 2, nice, 3, 2, boom, 3, 2. And again, you're immediately going to start to notice that definition. So you are still able to have a shadow side even when you use bare bulb. Now let me go full body, just so you can see where that shadow is going. Nice, 3, 2, good, 3, 2, yes, 3, 2, nice, one more, 2, good. And what you're gonna notice is that shadow is now going off to Emily's right side. And this is how you can kind of control that shadow depth. If I wanted to make this even less prominent, what I would do is I would have it as more of like a side light, and you can even flag it off to where you're not necessarily affecting her shadow that much. And again, the higher up that light is, the closer that shadow is going to be to her, and the lower and more straight on it is, the further out that shadow is going to be, similar to the sun. But let's do a couple close-ups just so we can see that you can still get definition. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Nice. I love it. Love bare bulb to death. Still shooting at f5.6 with an ISO of 100 and a shutter speed of 1/250th. I want you all to check out the side-by-side of these retouched images, so the flat images and then also the Rembrandt. And you let me know, which one would you use, and are you gonna add bare bulb into your repertoire? That's gonna do it for another video. A couple key takeaways here that I want you to ingrain into your mind. Bare bulb is pretty much a replication of the sun. The sun is a super hard light source. It gives nice sharp shadows, and that is what we are trying to replicate here with the bare bulb. Again, it is a light source that is going to have a ton of spills, so if you're really wanting to control your light source, then you might want to try something different, maybe a reflector with a grid on it or something of that nature. But depending on the space and the place in which you have your model in relation to said bare bulb, you can create stunning portraits. I personally love the hard light look. I love what it does to skin tones, especially darker skin tones, where it really starts to add this little bit of a highlight that you just can't get when you add diffusion onto normal modifiers. And it's really something that's like that sun-kissed look, like when you're outside and the sun is just beaming, you got some sunscreen on, and it just hits. So this is something that you absolutely need to keep in your bag. I use this a ton when I'm doing stuff like jewelry. Right? It really allows for that gold to pop or that silver to pop, especially when you put it on the right skin tone. I also use it a lot in fashion, and you can pair this with other lighting setups. So every setup that I've ever taught you, you can use bare bulb as the key light. So it doesn't only have to be used as a one light setup. Again, if you want to improve your studio lighting, go ahead and click the link in my bio. The studio lighting bundle is currently live. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.